Merry Christmas 2022. So I just figured I'd do a quick update on the arcade. I still haven't fitted the magnetic locks to the door, but the door still opens perfectly. Whenever I make one of these, I do a steel carrier. I don't just put a timber bookcase up and then hang it on cheap hinges. Everything's on a steel carrier. So let's go inside and talk about what's changed and what's going to change, because this lot is coming out. A few times now I've been asked, why would you want a secret bookcase door in your house? Why would you not? I don't know, anybody would go, no, I don't like that in my house. But yeah, I've made a couple of these now. Steel carrier for everything on that side. Make your bookcase to fit the gap so that everything matches up when it's shut. So when it's shut like that, I haven't got the mag locks on yet, but when the mag locks go on, everything shuts tight, and yeah, you would never know that this opens. But anyway, let's go on in. I'll do a quick tour, quick shout out to a few people that have helped, and tell you what's coming in the future. So first off, shout out to my brother-in-law in England, Phil, who came up with the vector files for this. I wanted this so it was like ghosted on the wall. So he drew all the files in vector for each of the logos. I told him which logos I wanted, he drew them up and then sent them to me on email. I took them to a local company and they cut them out of chrome foil. And I think all of that lot was like $54, and then you just apply it straight to the wall. I found this locally. It was a pair of them. I bought a pair together. One worked, one didn't. This one didn't work. This is the one I wanted. And went on YouTube, found some how-to videos and repaired it. So now we've got a working slot machine. We play with tokens, so they're all in the bottom. Let's open the door a little bit so we can get some light. Yeah, all the tokens are in a pot at the bottom, so kids can pull the pot out and then they can just keep feeding them in and they can play the slot machine. I know it's kind of pointless because you just win tokens and that's it, but be surprised the amount of people that just like to sit there with a beer, or kids sit there with a Coke and play it. This was given to me by friends Helen and Bob. This is 1974, the same year as I am, so this thing's 48 years old. Again, that and this are both flushed in the wall as much as they can go. You pick a handful of balls up and you put them in the top. You flick the lever and you're trying to get the balls into these targets. If you win, they go into here, and then losing balls go back in there. I collect the odd thing with Mario on Nintendo whenever I see it, and started adding that. What I don't want is, you see all these different videos on YouTube and that, and people have like every single inch of walls covered. I didn't really want that for myself, but I did want to display. I've seen a poster of controllers on that, and I thought, let's get the real things instead. So I got kind of getting there for one of everything. The only one that's not real is that one. That's a fake one, that's a reproduction, but the rest of them are all real. My good friend Stan, who's got me a ton of different things, found me this. It's a hypnotizer. Kids like to stand in front of it and stare at the wall, which is cool. Stephen and Paul gave us these Funko Pop figures, which I made this case for. Bit of 1/4 inch glass on the front. This thing normally lights up with black lighting, which makes all the dots glow really nice, but I haven't got the transformer on there. In there is a bathroom, what they say in America, a 3/4 bathroom, toilet, a vanity and a shower. One of our friends, Leah, knew a lady that was getting rid of this. She kindly donated it to the arcade, so we got a 4-player cabinet. Actually, there was a Raspberry Pi 4 in here, and what I'm now running is my PC with all my games on it that I like. With 4-player means you can play Turtles, Simpsons, stuff like that. I've got a collection of film props which are in here temporarily, but eventually they'll move to the bar, where I'm going to do a film prop themed bar. I made this Colonial Marines helmet. It's just a replica. That's a 3D printed gun, which I put in the case just because I thought it was funny. And then we got 4 real pinballs. So these 3 have all got Comet LEDs in them. I've converted each of them to Comet LEDs, so the lights are way brighter than normal, which is nice. I like the flashy lights. I made the topper for gophers. Stick of dynamite is obviously PVC tube, and then cut down a golf club. I've got more prop replicas for Jurassic Park. Remember the shaving cam from the first film? And then Ghostbusters comes with full LEDs. I haven't touched Ghostbusters, which is probably my favourite of my pinballs that we've got. and then that's a money box Slimer is, and then there's Spirit of Halloween props I've airbrushed and weathered to make them look more realistic. So they've had a bit of work done to them. And then I've got my Xbox S driving cabinet that I made. There's a video on this on my channel. This is all 16 gauge steel. So it's got adjustable pedal box. You can push the lever down. You can actually do this with your foot. Push the lever down, slide the pedals forward. Push the lever down, slide the chair forward. So you can move those two closer together. The steering wheel was fixed. We've also got a manual shifter, paddle shifter, handbrake, cup holder, 43-inch widescreen TV, and everything is mounted on the one rig. So it's freestanding. I can move it to the other end of the arcade. There's no brackets screwed to walls or something. I wanted this to look more like an arcade cabinet than just a seat and a steering wheel. I gotta say, I'm not a hardcore sim racer. I don't do iRacing. I just normally play Wreckfest, which is really popular on here. Trackmania Turbo, the lads next door love. Burnout, Paradise, that kind of stuff I play. Forza Horizon. So I wanted to look like an arcade cabinet. So we've got, this is the American themed one. And the other one I'm going to build in the spring is red. It's going to be an English theme. So you'll walk down the middle, sit left, sit right. And then you'll be able to have head-to-head racing. Again, Stephen and Paul for Christmas this year got me this cool sign for the arcade, which is fantastic. I found that, I think, in Hobby Lobby. I've added the Mario busting through the wall. They do two versions of this Mario. They do a 12-inch version, which is $35, and they do an 18-inch version, which is $200. So I went with the 12-inch version because I'm cheap. Wanted a display case for Hot Toys figures, and so far I've only got 2 Hot Toys figures. I buy plushies when I see them, just to put on display. I haven't put them in the cabinet yet. The top cabinet is I had one of those when I was a kid cabinet. More for people my age, I guess. But again, I've got a collection of plushies and a collection of minifigures. And then games consoles, different consoles throughout the years. So Sega, Nintendo. The ET is because the Atari 2600 and the ET game was the worst game ever made. 18 figures when I was a kid. Again, different, you can't see them because it's too dark in here, but I've got different consoles in the Atari 2600, all the PlayStations up to PlayStation 3. And then I've started on a collection of screen accurate size Toy Story figures. And some of these figures are ridiculous money. So Lenny, the binoculars, is $100. Unless you know how to buy the cheaper alternative, which is what I've bought. So mine's not Clockwork and I paid $12 for it. But that guy there is the wrong size. He should be about 7 inches tall, but he's $700. I'm not paying that for a toy. And I think Lots of Hugging Bear is supposed to be taller than that. So they do a different version. They do an 18-inch version. That's the 12-inch version, I believe. But I made the cane for him, the walking stick. I've also just recently got from Toy Story 4 Giggles McDimples. So and Tinny I've just added from the Tin Toy, the original 1988 Tin Toy, and he makes 2 appearances in 2 different Toy Story films as a cameo. But yeah, so they've added to this collection. I'm going to keep adding to these. So this is going to get made bigger in the future, but I'll come to that. Then I've got, I should also say I did lay his feet out, so it said Danny. If you've seen Toy Story 2, he puts his feet in the order of Danny at one point, which I thought was quite funny instead of Andy. And then I've got He-Man figures, and again, these are not all originals. The play sets, so Snake Mountain and Castle Grayskull originals, and I wanted to custom paint them. Just always wanted to custom airbrush them. So the Snake Mountain looks more like a snake now. Did some weather and did a ton of airbrushing on it. Same with Castle Grayskull, has been completely repainted and airbrushed to just make it look more how I wanted it to look. And then a collection of figures, and again, if I see a figure I pick it up. I don't mind if it's not original. I'm not a purist, I don't need them all to be originals. And I painted the background as well. And then that gap was for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I got the figures in storage, and that's for Ghostbusters. Again, figures in storage, we need to make dioramas. And then I've got, again, another display case. I don't know what happened there, but obviously look, something compressed and the glass broke. But again, this sort of thing I do for a living is make these cabinets and stuff. I do construction and remodeling. So again, I just wanted somewhere I could display my collection in a flat wall, so just added something to the room. But on that note, this room used to be part of a bedroom, and then this bit down here used to be part of a bathroom, and that was a small separate area there, which was a secret room. And my plan always was to put down black light carpet, which is why there's black light running around the baseboard. But what we're thinking now is the house is currently 6 bed, 5 bath, and we live in 6 acres of land. And we got a couple of exterior buildings that are away from the house, and one of them we're going to repurpose to make a 2,500 square foot building. So there'll be a workshop, which will be 1,250 square foot roughly on the ground floor, and then the top floor will be a 1,250 square foot room, which will be a bar and an arcade and a bathroom and that. So all this lot I'm thinking is going to move to that room. So it means all the arcade can be at one end of the room, and then the bar. And then on my film props, I've got a lot of stuff that I've got in storage. I've got a genuine Wilson volleyball. I say genuine, it's not screen used, but they did a limited edition of the Wilson volleyballs that said Cast Away on them. And I've got a Grogu and Carbonite that I've started. So we're going to hold fire on the carpet. We're going to start building the other room. Oh, in here, by the way, is AC and plant room, which goes that way quite a distance. Yeah, and then all this lot might come out, and then, will come out and become an office. And then the room that's in there, which is currently my office, will become a bedroom. We're also building a 9-hole putt-putt course on the 6 acres, just because we like putt-putt, and we think it'd be good fun. And then we're also going to build a putting green for a 9-hole short course. And we're adding a 20 by 40 swimming pool, and we've already done a 200-foot zip line and 230-foot zip line. So I've started building a proper platform for that. So yes, it's like big boys paradise, but I say by no means is this anywhere near like an amazing arcade. I've seen some stuff on the internet which is incredible, and I've seen people fill the whole basement, all of one floor with arcade cabinets or one-up cabinets. I'm not a one-up cabinet person. I don't like them personally. And I don't want to fill the entire floor of one house with an arcade. So even when we get the bar built, there will be a 12-foot screen up there. There will be a pool table, a shuffleboard table. I don't want the arcade to be the whole thing. But yeah, this is where we are in 2022. Far from amazing, but I spend a lot of time on the driving rig playing Wreckfest, and so I want to get the other one built in the spring, so then you can knock the other person off the track and that. So yeah, just figured I'd do a quick update, and yeah, all this is going to come out at some point. But the work I'm getting the room as the room will stay as it is. So this will get repainted of the light colour and then become the office. I did put proper lighting in here, so see, it can be super bright. Yeah, Merry Christmas everyone, and if you're interested in the putt-putt course and everything else we're going to do, so I'm trying to do this weekends and evenings. If YouTube paid me, I could get on and get this done, but I don't have enough subscribers. So, but yeah, if you're interested, please feel free to join my channel and watch the progress as that happens. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.